they could have gone way harder on me. These reality show contracts are insane. Like lawyers tell you don't sign them. Like they have the rights to like own your soul forever and things you make for the future and stuff. You can find the contracts online. It's really, really bad.
You're listening to Screenwriters Need to Hear This with Michael Jamin. Hey everyone, it's Michael Jamin, and you're listening to Screenwriters Need to Hear This. I got a special guest today. I always say that when I have a special guest, but this time we have a world famous comedian. And now, what does comedians have to do with screenwriters? Well, comedy writing, it's a form of writing, Taylor. So we're here with Taylor Williamson, who was, let me make sure I get this right. You're runner-up on America's Got Talent. What year was that? Because
we just say fairly recently in the spectrum of time, you know?
Yesterday. And how I met you was because, so we've been friends, Taylor, we've been friends for a long time, but which means I'm probably not going to be as nice to you as on this podcast as if we weren't friends. So be forewarned.
No. You're not going to be you're going to be less nice to me because we're friends?
Yeah, it's the chat. It's all that's here on our podcast. So that's how
That's not cordial.
But I want to tell everyone how we met. So we met, I guess, a few years back. It was a little bit.
Sure.
And you had just won, or runner up to America's Got Talent, comedian, and you were popping. And so I don't remember exactly how, but our managers teamed us up, and you had an idea for a TV show based on your life. You were looking for writers. My partner and I met. Our managers teamed us up. We met and we had a conversation. We liked what you had to say, and we thought, yeah, let's just try to develop a show and see if we can get it off the ground. And that's kind of how it works. Is like, some people say, like, well, I'm a comedian, make a show about me. No, you don't understand. You were having this moment. You were meaningful to the network because of your appearance on your success on that show. And that's how we went about it, right?
No one else even wanted to meet with us. And then you guys seemed so excited. I was like, are they playing a trick on us? Or are they terrible? Why? No, I'm slightly, I'm joking about the mean part. Unlike you being serious about the mean part. There was one other fancy showrunner guy who was attached, I think, while you were also attached, and I was confused what was happening, like why we have.
Well, we couldn't have both been attached. That's not possible.
I don't know. There was a guy. Obviously, I'll tell you. You already know this stuff from years ago. I just have to remind you. But like, there was another like executive producer guy who was attached, and then you guys, when we met with you guys as well, and everyone was going to be a part of it in different ways. And I guess you would have been
Sure.
I guess. But then I thought he was. I don't know what's going on. I'm the dumb comedian who's just all these Jewish people are telling me what to do, and I'm Jewish, by the way. I don't want to sound like the new Kanye West. I was playing along with Kanye. Wait, I'm playing against you. Jewish. Can you save me, Hebrew? Happy Hanukkah.
Hebrew. Dude, I want to know. So Taylor's, touring comedian. You work all the time. You tour the country. But I want to know how you broke into the business. Like, how did you go from open mics to getting paid to do this?
We'll cut out the last 12 minutes that I said so far, right?
We're going to lead with that.
I feel like you have like real writers, those people listening. Let me just say that, we can talk more about that. I think it's interesting.
We can talk about anything you want to talk about.
I made jokey answers to whatever, but yeah, I think it's important to share this stuff. And I had a show idea that I liked, and then my friend is, I'm taking over the show.
No, okay. Well, I'll get back to it. We got some time to fill here, so we'll get back to my questions.
Well, so no, I'm taking over. I'm answering your question, buddy.
Yeah, I know, but I was steering the conversation away from your answer.
So then Jillian Bell, who's a great comedian, actress, writer person, and she was interested in the show, and then she wanted to produce the show. Fun fact, show business. I used to be with the management company that she was with, and I was no longer with them. And I brought this idea to them, and my reps were not enthusiastic about it. But then, I stopped working with them. But then a year later, Jillian Bell was interested in the idea. Same show. And then we go into their office with Jillian, and then they're like, Jillian, this is a great idea. And I'm like, the show
Actually,
business is
I totally
funny.
forgot that she was involved in it. But that's right, because she brought another piece to the puzzle. It was like,
Yeah.
and you did, which was like, it's all about how many pieces of this puzzle can you, like, how much more can you bring to the table? And her involvement, the fact that you had this other, she's an actor, producer. She's trying to get into the producing field, and that was another piece of the puzzle, which made it more meaningful. So that's how
Yeah.
you weren't just like some random dude. You kind of put these pieces together.
Yeah, and then I mean, she helped tremendously, and I wouldn't have gotten to you and Sievert
I
uh,
forgot.
if it was not for her. And then we met with you guys, and it was such a joy. And we could talk about it as much as you want. But anyways, but how did I start comedy? I was 17. I got into stand-up comedy in high school. I never liked comedy as a kid. I remember being at the airport and like, as a child, and some guy was like, "I'm a comedian," and he's like so obnoxious. And I've always hated that kind of comedy. Like people are like, "Look at me, I'm a comedian. I got some jokes," you know. So I think that scarred me for life. So I was like, I don't like. And my brother liked comedy, stand-up comedy. So I said I don't like stand-up comedy because like dumb sibling rivalry stuff. And it makes no. I'm not proud of anything I'm saying. I still stand by hating those obnoxious comedians who like tell it when they're hey, I'm a comedian, nice to meet you. Like, like, I don't need that. And then
Yeah. But that's
and
funny,
then
because I always say that people who have to advertise that they're funny might not be funny. You know what I'm saying? They have to put it on their
yeah,
business card, funny
right,
guy.
yeah.
But okay, go ahead.
For the record, I've been saying I'm not funny this
And
entire
we believe you.
conversation.
I believe you.
Very good. I'm glad that's clear. And then
Yeah.
in high school, I got into stand up a lot I became a fan of it. And then I'm from San Diego, and rest in peace. Her name is Sandy Seashore. Mitzi's daughter from the Comedy Store,
Oh.
Polly's sister, had a comedy workshop in San Diego, and I'm 17, and I'm like, oh, that seems like a way to start.
Uh-huh.
I don't necessarily encourage comedy classes.
Why not?
As for stand-up comedy, improv, sketch, yeah. Stand-up, fine. It helps you get your feet wet and you learn structure and stuff. But generally, I learned what not to do. Really, I don't.
What
You
do you
kind
mean?
of
What
there's
do you mean
no.
structure, though? What do they teach you there?
You get
How to
comfortable
land
on.
on the funny word?
Yeah, it's just like helping dissect. I don't know. There's no curriculum for comedy classes, but I learned a lot of things what not to do. And I
Uh-huh.
watched things being rewarded. Everyone's just being like, this is not what I want to do. This is not right. And you're in the class with a bunch of crazy people too, honestly.
Well, what kind of
Um,
things do you learn that you're not supposed to do?
as I was saying that, I was like, that's going to be a follow-up question. I can't think
Yeah.
of one, but like rule of threes, all this, I don't know. I don't like,
Like,
I don't
yeah,
like these. It's just like, yes, those are things, but then
right.
also it doesn't have to be as such.
Hmm.
Um, I'm trying to think of like better examples of that, but here's the positive that I got out of it is if you're fat, talk about it. If you're skinny, talk about it.
Mm,
And this is what I got out of the class. That's invaluable is that everything I got picked on in school was things that were like my superpower as a comedian or a writer. So like all the
exactly.
bullies were like, "Hey, you talk weird, or you walk weird, or you're a dork," and I was able to spin all of those into. I go on stage, "Hey, so I'm weird, and I talk weird, and I walk," and then people are like, "We like you," and it's just kind of a beautiful thing to do.
It's
Comedy
so
writings,
funny.
yeah.
This is what I say all the time to people, which is talk about your vulnerabilities. That's what you want to talk about. And in screenwriting, but the same thing with stand up, that's
Yeah, I guess as a stand-up that I don't have better answers than this at the off the top of my head because it's so long ago. But I remember like it's like you learn to go like, oh, I'm half Jewish and I'm half Italian, so that means I like pizza that's on sale. And then they go,
right.
great, like no, like come on. So it teaches you that kind of, but it does teach you what a joke is, and it teaches you to get comfortable on stage, and it teaches you what's out there. But I don't know, it can make a hack comedian.
And then what came next? So the open mics after that? You put together a 5-minute act or something?
So I was very tenacious and uh, ridiculous, and I was very good for my age. And this is also the time when not everyone's on Instagram, and TikTok and all this stuff. So like I was maybe one of the 3 17-year-old stand-up comedians out there. Like, you know what I mean? So I was probably the best, I'm using quotation of fingers, 17-year-old comedian. I don't know. So I got attention, and I was really good, especially in front of that supportive audience, where everyone invites their friends and stuff, you know? I didn't invite anybody, but like in that safe space, I don't know. I was very good at my age. I don't know. This probably sounds douchey, but so I moved to LA for college, but really for comedy. And it was very humbling doing an open mic that was not that safe space. And then the crowd wasn't so supportive. I'm like, what's wrong with you people? Oh, wait, that's not real. This is real, you know?
Yeah.
But I got really good videotape footage, VCRs, those things. And
who brought the camera?
so the comedy workshop, you pay like $4 billion, and then you get to do the 8 weeks, then you get a tape at the end. So I got a killer tape. So I sent that to the producers of the Tonight Show. I sent it to the Last Comic Standing producers. I sent it to Eddie Brill, who booked David Letterman. So like I was 18. Was it before I was 18?
And wait, did they write back?
Yeah.
Did they reach out? What'd they say?
Every time.
What'd they say?
These guys, every time. I remember I don't believe I ever got them on the phone. Eddie Brill, Letterman guy, called me. I remember being in college, 18, in the hallway. I had a voicemail from the booker for Letterman. Nowadays, I would have recorded it and saved it. You know, just like flip phone time. So, he was like, "Thanks for the tape. Funny jokes." Because I remember reading somewhere that he responds to everyone who submits. And I remember he said, "Yeah, you can't do the AIDS joke on the show." The AIDS, it was like it wasn't an AIDS joke, but it was like the joke was, I was trying to be Bitch Hedberg at the time, you know, like brilliant one-liner guy. I was trying to be one of those guys. So like I remember being like, all these people are walking for AIDS, so I'm against AIDS. I don't know, you know what I mean? Right. Some dumb joke like that. And he's like, you can't say that, but keep working at it, whatever. And the Bob Reed at Tonight Show was so sweet, and he seemed accessible to me because he was a judge on Last Comic Standing the first few seasons. So he would send me the tape back, say, "Thanks for the tape, keep working at it." They would literally return the sender, but with a note and thank you. And then the last time he called me, or something, like the third time, he was like, "You don't have to keep sending me tapes." But he's still supportive though, you know? Like it was like, "Hey, you don't have to keep it wasn't like leave me alone, but like it was like, I think he called me to tell me to stop, chill a little bit, you know?
Give us some time. But then, like, do you know of other comics who do this? Like, reach out? Is that how you get booked on these shows?
I think crazy 40-year-olds do it now. I think like I was cute because I was young, but I can't imagine what their emails are like now. You know, now it's a bunch of insane, not well.
But you don't know anybody, like you wouldn't do this to get booked on any of these shows now. That's not. I mean
now I do, but I know the people. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm like, I've done all these things. Would you please take a look at my? Nowadays, if I want to get on like James Corden, I have the guy's email and I make a 5-minute tape and I send them a nice email. "Hi, I'm Taylor. I've done these things." Or, "How you been? We had coffee one time," whatever. But
does that work? Does that stuff work?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't been on James Corden, so maybe not. But yeah, I mean, if you're professional in this business, like a mistake that I made, and I'm even sure my reps would agree, like don't go through them for everything. Like I used to think you have to go through representation to get shit done. Can I curse on this show?
Yeah.
But a big mistake I've made in this business is not using my personal relationships that I have and just reaching out myself.
That's so, man, dude, it's so interesting because I say the same exact things, but for screenwriting, like I say, people think that I need an agent, I need a manager, like that's going to change your life. And the truth is, it's not. You still got to do 99% of the work yourself.
I'm grateful to any of my reps who are listening to this.
They're not listening.
And I mean it sincerely. Like I've been doing this for 19 years. So like I have like old man wisdom, even though I'm not like 1,000 years old yet. But like almost everything that I've gotten that was like monumental or big deal was without representation. Like respect to them for making the deals way better than it would have been at themselves, or to them for making something taken to the next level, you know. That's their jobs, you know. I think most honest and classy agents and managers would agree that like they pour gasoline on fires, but you have to start the fire yourself.
Yeah,
and
you
like,
got to do it.
and I thought it was unprofessional to reach out without them. Now, dude, like I'm selling unscripted shows right now. That's kind of what I'm hustling on. And I just say, hey, Jillian told me this, or her sister told me this, who's a producing partner, who's brilliant too. Like, yeah, she just goes, hey, I had a meeting with, I'm making up, I had a meeting with uh, Paramount today. Oh, cool. How was it? You know?
Mm-hmm.
So I call my agent and go, I said, I have these 3 pitch meetings today. Can you please reach out to some of these places I don't have? And sometimes I just go, can you give me their email? Because they have a Rolodex.
Interesting.
I know. Do I
Interesting.
sound like a crazy person right now?
No, and so you set up the meeting yourself, that you're saying?
Honestly, I set up I try to do it myself and then I reach out to them if I need help, even for comedy club bookings.
Whoa, let's talk about that. What do you mean for comedy book? So you don't have a separate booker for comedy clubs?
I have a booking agent who's awesome, but like I just got a gig in Atlanta at the Punchline Comedy Club out there, and the guy texted me because he knows me.
Right.
I'm just long enough where I know the people, I know them, so I can just like some of these owners of comedy clubs, I can just text and say, hey, I've done I've done the club 10 times, you know? So like I've been there the 30 days of my life. I hung out with these people. Hey, I'd love to come. I'd love to do a weekend with you guys. Do you have anything coming up?
Is that what you do? I mean, you'll fly to Atlanta and you'll do a couple of shows at this one club, or do you go on tour? Like, do you go from Atlanta to the next city, whatever the next city, Raleigh? I mean, you might make a tour of it, or do you just keep flying back and forth to LA?
That's kind of, a lot of people are doing that now. Like, I mean, that's always been kind of, if you're like Jim Gaffigan level or like whatever, like if you're a superstar, you're doing like theater, you know? I'm still comedy club level guy. So I do weekends, but a lot of these TikTok stars, like people who are getting like independently famous just from their social media, like yourself, honestly, they're doing off nights at comedy clubs. So like they're doing like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They'll be in Cincinnati one night. They'll go to Dayton the next night. They'll go to Toledo the next night.
And why off nights though? What's that about?
Because the weekends are the business is changing so much, but in comedy clubs, the weekends are traditionally held for, quote, established comedians. The idea being that if some randoms walk in, they're gonna have a good time. Like, I'm Taylor, I'm a comedian, I've been on America's Got Talent, I've done Comedy Central, all these things. But like, if people just walk in because they want to see a comedy show, they're probably gonna be fine, you know? But like on a Tuesday, they would book a TikTok dancer, or they'll book someone who just got famous because they're really funny and people are connected to their jokes, but they haven't been around that much.
But they can still get asses in seats.
Right. But also the other side of it, the business side of it too, is if I do a weekend, I can get a guaranteed deal. That's enough for me to come out no matter what, if we sell lots of tickets or not. But the people going on a Tuesday, they could make more money than if they sell every ticket. The venue's more willing to give up equity in ticket sales on an off night than on a weekend.
And so what is the equity? Like splitting the door?
Yeah. So like a comic if you can sell out 300, 400 seats or whatever the venue seats on a Tuesday night, you can say the venue, give me 80% ticket sales. I'll fly 80%. In on, yeah, or more, you know? I'll come in on Wednesday, you get drink sales, I'll get the ticket sales. And the clubs,
these venues have 300 seats, or is it that just like the number of shows? Because I thought most of these clubs are smaller.
A lot of comedy clubs now are switching to bigger venues because they're trying to compete with theaters. Because thanks to Netflix and social media, comedians are selling more tickets than they've ever sold ever. Like there's a poll star that just came out. This is public information. Like Bert Kreischer made $25 million touring this year. Like
we almost did a show with Bert.
Yeah,
we talked about it. Now 25 million? That's a lot of money. His house wasn't that nice.
Well, I know,
but it wasn't 25 million.
Well, now he has 3 houses. Neil Brennan just did a podcast with David Letterman bragging about how Bert Kreischer is killing it. And Letterman was laughing, rubbing his eyes, like 25 million. That's probably more. That's legit, probably more than he made doing his show. Legit, you know. And
just touring.
Yeah, just touring. And I mean, to be fair, that's gross sales before commission. Right. I mean, as we all know, that's before 30% commission. You know, your agent 30% commission
Oh,
agent, manager, tour manager, lawyer. Maybe no
tour,
lawyer for touring,
your tour
but
manager.
oh,
They
maybe
take 10%?
I said businessman. So your manager takes 10%, your agent takes 10%, your business manager takes 5%.
Well, you don't need a
And
business manager, but you
I'm
need a
sorry?
touring manager.
I don't know how he does tour manager. I'm just saying like normal manager.
Wow, this
But
is so interesting. I didn't know this talk was going to be as interesting as it is.
oh, you know what,
I,
mister? But last thing I'm gonna say is Bert said on a podcast that he said that just talk to him. Actually, you don't have to talk to him. Just talk to me. I'll tell you about him. He said
yeah.
he wouldn't take a movie or TV show right now, which is the
That
wildest thing to hear a comedian say. But I get it, but like that's so
that
not
doesn't
how we all
surprise me.
started because he's
I
making so
know.
much touring and he has gigs booked and his fans. He has such
I
a
know.
connection with his fans.
It's so interesting because we
I'd
met with him to
murder.
develop a show, and it was his idea. And then he kind of, I think he lost interest of his own idea, probably because he's like, I don't need to do this. I can make more money on the road. Wow.
Yeah, and it's just the dream is just different now. Like I started in 2003 and like my dream at that time, I'm sure we talked about this during one of our writing sessions slash therapy sessions for me,
Yeah.
but like I wanted to do like Tim Allen, Drew Carey, Ray Romano, all that you become a really funny comedian, you work hard, and then you pair up with brilliant comedy writer like yourself, and then you get a sitcom. And that's not how it goes anymore. Most people don't want to multicam sitcom even.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of interesting too. My girlfriend is an actress, so she's brilliant and comedian and all the things. She's absolutely brilliant, and she's Filipina. And I said to her like, I had all these people I wanted to be like, and I don't know what to do anymore. One of those things. And she's like, that's cool that you had people that you watched on TV that you wanted that had a blueprint for you because I never had that. I was
Oh,
able
so
to
you're
be
saying
like,
because she's Philip, there weren't any role models for her?
there was no like, oh, I want to be like that. I want to be like that. It was just kind of like Rufio respect, but like the guy who played Rufio and Hook and Tia Carrere respect. I think she's
Yeah,
Filipino.
yeah.
But like,
So,
yeah, it's just
but
interesting.
she's an actor comedian.
Yeah.
And does she? So do you work a lot with her then?
We are pitching a show together actually, but no, she's not really stand up. She's more of or she is a stand up, but she's an actor and stuff.
So how did you meet her then?
We met doing stand up like a million years ago.
See, that's what I'm saying.
But we reconnected recently.
Wow,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
And so when you talk about reality show or unscripted, what are you? You don't have to tell me your ideas. What is that? For you to star in some kind of unscripted show that you're saying?
Yeah, please don't steal my ideas.
I don't know anything about scripted. People ask me about scripted all the time. Like, I don't know how it works.
I don't know how it works either, honestly. But it's what you said though. It's you have an idea and then you get people go, I don't know. And then you get someone attached you people trust and they go, oh, that's a great idea. So you convince the person who people who has equity in that field and status or whatever you want to use, whatever word you want to use. And then that's what I've done. So like the success I've had in unscripted TV is I had a travel show on Spike TV or a pilot a few years ago. And I knew this guy, Tom Beers, who's like a genius. He's like a mad scientist for unscripted television. And he's got a really inspiring story. Like he became a superstar like in his 50s. And like he wasn't a millionaire until his 50s, but then he became like a super millionaire. He created Deadliest Catch and Ice Road Truckers and 1,000 Ways to Die and Storage Wars and stuff. And he won the Emmy every year for Deadliest Catch.
Yeah, I love Deadliest Catch.
Yeah. So I knew him through because he was the CEO of Fremantle after he sold his company to Fremantle, which produced AGT. So, and I had a holding deal with Fremantle and NBC. So I just reached out to him after I had some bummer business stuff happen. I just reached out to him because he was a nice guy who I know he saw me perform and he liked me and he was nice to me. And then he started I messaged him on Facebook. Like I don't have his phone number,
Right.
And this is a few years ago. And then we met up and we brainstormed a lot, and him and his partners and at his company, and we got a pilot with Spike TV. And it was like just like a 2-year process, by the way. Like
it takes forever.
It was a whole thing, and then you selling a pilot. I didn't get any money. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I didn't get any money.
You didn't make any money. It all went to the budget of the show. Tell me what a holding deal for the everyone listen. What exactly is a holding deal?
So I got the janky kind of holding deal you get nowadays. Like I hear comedians from the 90s talk about their holding deals. They would get paid hundreds of thousands of
Yeah.
dollars a year to be exclusive to networks.
Yeah, and never actually get anything made, but they would hear pitches, or sometimes they would pitch, right?
Yeah, so it's like they get pilots or they have shows built around. I mean, I'm telling you, so,
Well,
the
yeah.
audience, you tell the audience
No,
what's
but you
the.
tell me what your janky holding
So I
deal
got
is.
the janky reality show holding deal where, and they didn't force it upon me. Like I was flat grateful for it, but I think it was $10,000. So from being America's Got Talent, they had the option. They could have gone way harder on me. These reality show contracts are insane. Like lawyers tell you don't sign them. Like they have the rights to like own your soul forever and things you make for the future and stuff. You can find the contracts online. It's really really bad. But
But
they
you don't
didn't.
sign those. You don't sign those contracts, or
Well, I did it when I was a contestant because I was desperate.
that's
And
another thing. Okay, so you did sign one of those contracts with the AGT, but they don't own you now.
no, and it was for a couple of years, and it's confusing
Okay.
because I was on the show last week, but the contract ended after a couple of years. It's confusing, but
Yeah,
I'm
they
joking.
keep on calling you to back into,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
Heidi. I know Heidi loves you.
Yeah, she says hi, by the way.
I know she does.
But
Yeah.
so there's a contract that I signed that I'm sure is similar. It's probably worse now, honestly. But they had the rights to like specials and ticket sales and all these things they could have claimed because like, One Direction, Simon Cowell owned 1/6 of One Direction, I believe. So like
Interesting.
because they were an X Factor show.
Right.
So
Right.
he put them together and he owned them. So they didn't take a penny from me. But the holding deal was they had the option for a holding deal and I could have fought it and I don't think they would have enforced it
Right.
upon me.
Right.
But and I heard that kids can get out of this stuff. The crazy if you're under 18, you can just be like, I'm 16, leave me alone. Whatever you sign. I think there's a thing. I heard that's if you're a teenager that wants to be on a reality show. But so I had like a $10,000 holding deal, which my reps thought it was a good idea to go with it because I would be touring so much that whole year, and then we could develop something. It was the NBC in Fremantle. I
Mhm.
was frustrated by it because I wasn't supposed to audition for things outside of that, so I
Right.
felt restrained while it didn't go the way I hoped it would. But
Do
because
you
just
do a lot of auditions for acting parts?
not as much as I like, but I
Oh,
do.
really?
Yeah, I just auditioned for
Do-
Curb Your Enthusiasm, and I was so excited because I've never been able to get that even on an audition, and that's my dream to be on that.
And so was that for casting, or did you go directly to Larry?
It's all online now.
Oh,
So from my understanding, when you audition for Curb, you go to Larry. Like
and
you play with him.
right,
But
right.
even like my cousin's an actress, my girlfriend, like the most successful people, it's still on tape.
Yeah, right, right. I'd forgotten about that. It's been so long.
Yeah, but even like an improv. So, but I'm saying like even like an improv audition, which is Curb,
Yeah.
like you just ramble with your friend that you're filming it with.
So that's hard, especially for improv, because your friend, you have to
Yeah.
play off your friend.
Hmm.
Wow. And so, yeah, so how did you go from, I have so many questions, but how did you go from that first stand-up, you're doing open mics, to actually someone paying you?
I got my first paid gig about a year in. Like I got a lot of, so I sent my tape to like everyone you should never send your tape to. Like just because I had to, I was, I mean, looking back, I was very. If you go online, you can find some clips. Thankfully, they took out the problematic stuff. It was a different
Mhm.
time period,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm not. But like, I was very good for my age, and like, so I sent my tape to people, and then I got booked at the Improv in Ontario when I was 18. That was my
So
first
you
paid
send to
gig.
tape, okay, you say your tape to Booker, to the owners of comedy stores,
Managers and agents, I contacted
managers and
like,
agents.
yeah.
But is that okay?
You should not do that. It's not the move to do. It's insanity, and it's a different time now where you don't even need to do that anymore.
So how would you, if you're trying to break in? So how are you today? Go get, if you're doing open mics for, I don't know, if you're ready after doing
I
a
can
year
tell
or
you
so.
exactly what someone should do today,
Yeah.
but to post their clips on. In my day, you don't post your clips. I remember when I said I was submitting for. I made a tape. I'm trying to remember exactly why. I made a tape. I uploaded it to YouTube with private. Or YouTube. I don't even think private was an option, or I didn't know how to do it. I don't know. But I uploaded a clip on YouTube, and this is 2007,
Mhm.
and I wanted it. Anyway, I got on Craig Ferguson when I was 20 in 2007, and I rushed to get the tape off of YouTube because I didn't want to have my jokes on YouTube. Because the thought back then was, and I still have to fix this in my head. I started like a couple years too early because the business and the rules in our brain just changed so much. I don't know if you ever feel like that, but you're such an amazing job doing things the way things are done now. But anyways, we didn't want our clips online because we thought people are going to come see us perform. They're going to hear the jokes again. Comedy doesn't work the way music does, where you want to hear the repeat of. I could hear Foo Fighters sing Everlong 12 times in a row. I'd be like, this is great, you know?
Right.
But stand up, you don't hear the same joke 12 times, you know? So, but now, like, you want your clips online, and I struggle with that.
But so why do you want your clips online? Don't you still feel like they don't want to hear your jokes again?
Yeah, but it's not how younger people are or anyone is. The consumers aren't like that now. I think they want to hear
it online. Will they go see it at a club, even though they've already heard it? They will. Yeah. They will see it. They will hear it twice.
I don't think people hold on to joke memory like that.
Really?
Yeah, and enough people. I think the idea is that, listen, say best case scenario, even if you're famous, 40% of the people saw that clip you posted. They bring a date, they bring their friends.
Right.
There's gonna be enough people laughing where everyone's okay. And their friend says, I love that joke. Oh yeah, I saw him on Instagram. That's why people will be excited that they knew about it. And now people are into, like, I'm old and I always liked, if music was on MTV, I liked it, but if they're indie, I didn't listen to it, which is so stupid and ignorant and not, thank God as an artist, other people don't feel like that, you know? But like, people like loving some Instagram comic now. And like, I have a buddy, Ralph Barbosa. He's a really special young comedian. He's like 26 or 27 out of Dallas. He's been posting clips on Instagram and TikTok. He went from like 4,000 followers in April to like 160,000 now in December when we're taping this. And on TikTok, is way more.
He's posting clips that he records at a club?
Yeah. He's selling out more tickets than, like, I think than I sold. I don't know all his numbers, but I think he's selling more than I sold after being on America's Got Talent for a year. You know what I'm saying? He just sold out 8 shows at the Hollywood Improv in February.
And how many seats is that?
I don't know, 200 something.
Really?
But he sold them out months in advance. It's wild. It's wild. And they gave him the Wednesday night because he's a young comic who's new and whatever. Then they gave him a late show Wednesday. Then they gave him a Tuesday. They gave him a late show Tuesday. Then they're like, okay, you want the whole week? I haven't seen that since maybe Joe Coy or Gabriel Iglesias, you know?
That's so interesting. Because you really are, it's hard to get people out of their house on a weeknight, and yet they'll come out to see him.
I commented on one of his posts. This kid opened for me. He's like my little opener. I say little, he's younger than me. He's a kid who, when I went to Dallas, he'd be like, can I open for you again? And like, you have any other gigs? And I'm like, you know what? He's funny. He's nice. I would take him to lunch. And like, I treated him the way I wish people would have treated me when I was that age, you know, and younger or whatever. And some people did, and it meant a lot to me, you know? And like, I knew he's special. I knew he's going to do something, but I didn't know it was going to be like in 2 years, you know? And, but he was my opener in Dallas like 7 months ago. And now he's gonna be in LA. I'm like, can I open for you on your shows?
Is that right?
No joke, you know? Like, and I'm actually I'm working on what's kind of special too is like me and Chip Pope, you know, our friend Chip. I said to Chip, because I talked to my friend who's producing a thing for Netflix, like a New Faces type thing for stand-ups in like February. And I was like, you got to get this guy Ralph an audition. And so we came out for that, and I was like, Ralph is so special. We got to come up with a show for him. And like, so we've been talking about it for a while, and now serendipitously, he's become like this little superstar. And he's in Dallas, and he's got the biggest agent and biggest manager. He didn't have to move to LA. He didn't have to move to New York. He's staying in Dallas. It's from posting on social media, being funny and working hard. He was seen. The algorithm. So anyways, but so we're working on a show with him now, which I'm really excited about. Like a scripted show. And but the last thing I'll say on that is the confusing thing for me is it used to be you tap dance for like a gatekeeper, like trying to get some kind of producer to like, I hope they return my email, they book me, or whatever. Now you're trying to make an algorithm like you.
Well, but I think it's more about, because I say something like this as well. Because people are saying, well, how do I break it to Hollywood? Will you read my script? How do I get a manager or an agent? It's like, dude, all of this stuff you could do on your own.
Yeah.
You don't have to beg for permission. Just do it.
Yeah.
Do it and make it great, and people will come to you.
Hey, it's Michael Jamin. If you like my videos and you want me to email them to you for free, join my watch list. Every Friday, I send out my top 3 videos. These are for writers, actors, creative types. You can unsubscribe whenever you want. I'm not going to spam you, and it's absolutely free. Just go to michaeljamin.com/watchlist.
You know what's funny? It sounds like easy for you to say, or it sounds kind of like bullshit advice on at first. Like how I remember how do I get an agent? Will they find you? How do they find you? You get seen by them. Oh, we got to get booked. It's just like what comes first, chicken or the egg kind of thing, whatever. And what you just said sounds the same, but now is like someone who's been around a long time. You're right, and it sounds not fair, and it sounds ridiculous. I'm seeing it all day, and like, can I tell you, my agent? I'm with a great agent at a great agency, and like they rep Dave Chappelle and stuff. He's not. I don't think I'm speaking out of turn for him. I don't know, but like, I mean, he would come on and say the same thing. He would say, it's what he told me a few months ago. If you're on Tonight Show, it's not what it used to be.
Right.
He didn't say this. I'm saying this. I bet my agent would rather represent somebody who has 1 million Instagram followers than someone who was just on the Tonight Show.
Right.
And has no followers, but has potential. And like they did something special. It's not it's a more valuable currency to have a big social media following than to have been on Jimmy Fallon.
Interesting. Man, it's changing so much. But see, to me, I would think that gives people hope, because it's like you're more in control of your destiny than you think you are. To me, it's empowering.
To me, it's stressful. For me, it's stressful because like I was like climbing this ladder for so many years, and then then like
the game changed.
Everyone's on this other ladder. I'm like, what about this one? But this one, everyone's like, hey, have fun over there, but we're over here, so beat them or join them. What is it? Join them or I don't know.
Well, what is your what is your goal at this point? You're traveling. You work all the time. You work every week that you want to work.
Yeah, it's confusing. Coming out of COVID, it's confusing. I had like some almost things that went to shit because of COVID. I had like a thing that was supposed to happen. Like I was going to start working for Fox. I always liked wrestling. We talked about that. And like, and I was going to start being a correspondent on Fox primetime, being like a daily show type correspondent, but for wrestling stuff, like talking to fans and wrestlers and celebrities and like that kind of thing. So I was gonna be on Saturday night primetime Fox WrestleMania 2020, and then if that went well, I'd be on the weekly Fox Sports show after that.
But why is that?
COVID shut down. COVID, no audiences, So then, and that was on Fox, and then then Fox canceled the show I was gonna be on before COVID stopped being closing down everything, and then by the time fans came back last year, WWE kind of transitioned to NBC. So Fox is kind of like, we're not going to keep making this kind of stuff because you're with NBC.
But why do you care? Is it more about the exposure, about the money, about the lifestyle, or because that's it would have been comedy.
Fun. But I would have gotten to be a comedian. I would have gotten to be Taylor being silly. I wouldn't be that wasn't a job working for WWE. It would have been a job with Fox. So I would have been same as Frank Caliendo and Rob Riggle do for NFL's Sunday.
Oh, I didn't know Frank Caliendo does that.
Yeah, Frank's been doing that for 15 years probably. Like, the John Madden impression blew him up. Yeah, that's probably bigger for him than Mad TV maybe.
Right. That sounds so interesting.
So that would have been a thing that led to more hosting opportunities, and just like I'm so grateful for America's Got Talent, but my struggle has been I'm always confused on these things. Am I supposed to talk about how great I am, how perfect things are?
We're honest here on this podcast.
Yeah. No, I think it's important to share stuff, and that's honestly another confusing thing in this business too. Is it used to be? I remember talking to Tommy Johnigan about this. Do you know Tommy?
No.
He's a brilliant stand-up who's just become a superstar TV writer producer, and but he's like this killer stand-up, and. But I remember talking to him. We did Last Comic Standing in 2010, And I remember him saying, I don't respond to fan mail. You got to pretend Brian Regan doesn't return fan mail. You got to be like, you're Mick Jagger, you know? You got to make the crowd think that you're famous. Like that's the attitude that people had, you know? Like,
but now it's not that?
Now it's like if you don't return an email, like, or a DM, or people think you're a jerk sometimes, you know?
Is that right? You're supposed to respond?
It's confusing, especially during COVID. Everyone's doing Instagram lives and interacting and stuff. And like, I don't know. I need you. I don't know. People want to be friends with you now, or feel like they're friends with you.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a point to this, but oh yeah. So now, but then now also people want to hear artists be vulnerable and talk about like, yeah, things are hard right now. Like, yeah, like COVID shut down my career. I couldn't work for a year. Like,
right.
Some people, I don't know, they leaned into the TikTok and all that stuff, and for me, that wasn't healthy for me, for my brain to just go hard on that. But anyways, it is a confusing business, and but I have a lot of cool things going on too, and a lot of potential things. And
so why did you? Because you're from San Diego, so why did you move to LA then? For that reason, to be more connected to other opportunities?
I moved when I was 18, and I had to go to college.
Oh.
And I got into Cal State Northridge, one of the greatest schools in the country. It's like Harvard. It's like Harvard and
Harvard on the highway.
Is that what they call it?
Maybe. I think they call other schools that. They don't call that.
I've never heard of that. That's funny. But yeah, so I got it. But it was my excuse to move to LA, and I wanted to be. Well, I thought that the owner of the Comedy Store's daughter likes me. I thought I was gonna be like. I was so a little bit too tenacious, like cringeworthy, going for it. You know, like I remember calling the Comedy Store saying I took Sandy's comedy workshop. Like, yeah, you get it, but just knowing.
Well, you're a kid.
I'm a kid, but like just knowing who is answering now, the fucking bitter phone guy, like, yeah, thanks, buddy. You know what I mean? Like, they were nice to me actually. And I remember I talked to the guy who, I think it was Duncan Trussell, who's a great comic. I think he was the talent booker at the time. Anyways, but I moved to LA, and then I went to New York for a couple of years. But now you don't have to live anywhere really. It's really my girlfriend's an actress. She's living in Atlanta now. And she's on big shows. She's on huge shows, but like that's where you don't, because they film in Atlanta.
Right.
You don't have to. You don't have to. It's really weird because everything I'm talking like I'm 70, but like everything, the rules, it's all completely like it's like an earthquake, and everything is all different now.
Yeah. No,
and it's not bad at all. It's good in many ways. But it's confusing for like an old man like me. Like, wait, this is how it is. This must be how racist people feel, you know? Like,
yeah, right.
We like diverse. We like minorities now. What? I don't know.
But I want to have other things I want to get to you because you have so much.
I don't sound sad, do I? I think it's information to share with a fellow artist and listeners.
I think this is super interesting. Maybe I love this conversation.
I got a puppy for the people watching. There's a cute puppy.
I don't think that's a dog though.
Sir,
how dare you?
I enjoy your humor most of the time, but when you talk about the love of my life, this beautiful. She's Jewish, by the way. She says Happy Hanukkah.
What is her name again? Your dog?
This is Betty.
Betty, I didn't know that. I didn't know that was her name.
Well, you don't.
Why is she squinting? Why is she squinting like that? Why is she eye fucking me like that?
Sir,
how dare you?
She's falling asleep because she's comfortable looking in your eyes.
Oh, she's entranced by my eyes. I want to talk because I want to talk about how you transitioned from writing just jokes, like you're saying, we want to do a Mitch Hedberg.
Oh, that transition, yeah.
But then not the other one, not the other one. But you kind of how you found your voice.
Yeah, that's one of those other things that people go like when people say how long does it take? There's no rules, but like how long does it take you to find your voice? I think I could be making up a complete story, but I feel like he said it took 20 years for him to become like to really find his thing, whatever. A lot of people say 10 years, whatever. There's no rules for anything. Like you could have a car that's 10 years old, but you can drive it 3 times. That's not the same as someone who does 500 shows a year and hustles, whatever. But like, and some people, I started comedy when I was 17 and I wasn't a full human. So like, I didn't have things to life experience to talk about things. Everyone's lives are different, whatever. There's people who start, there's this special guy who's, he just passed away, but he was in his 80s. Shoot, I'm going to find his name before we hang up on this because he's so special, he's worth mentioning. But he was in his 80s doing stand-up comedy. He started, and he had all this to talk about, and it was really cool. And I'm going to talk to you while looking his name. But Um, how did I find my voice? Is that the question?
Yeah.
I don't know, you just live your life and you keep doing it. And like my favorite compliment I get, and the first time I got this was really made me happy. Someone said you're the same on stage as off stage. Like,
well, but I would say though, from watching you, I would say you're on stage, you're 10% more than
yes,
you are off stage.
I mean, but you're
20%.
You're an observant Jewish comedy writer, so you can see that. Yeah, ideally it's you with the volume turned up, you know.
Right.
So yeah, like, but I used to be, if someone's bored and wants to see it, like my first Craig Ferguson appearance is on YouTube. So if you type in Taylor Williamson, Craig Ferguson in 2007, I tried not to smile. That was my shtick. And like, that's the problem, like, quote problem. Like, it's not good or bad, but being seen early, you're being seen before you know who you are. But then, as you know, as a writer or artist, this is always so frustrating to me. But now I try to look, I have to remind myself that it's a positive thing. This is what I got from the comedy workshop. Sandy Shore said to me, rest in peace, Sandy. She said, after my set, I destroyed my first set. I demolished, like it was ridiculous. But I'm saying that's not to brag. I sound like an asshole. But my point being, it went so well. And then I walked off stage and she said to me, in 6 months, you'll be embarrassed by that. And I was like, fuck you, lady. That's my head, you know?
Right.
I didn't know what she's talking about. But I've learned that I still feel like that when I listen to a tape of I record all my sets on audio. If I listen to something from a year ago, I usually go, ooh, but that's good. That means you're getting better, you know?
Growing. How often do you write new material, and how do you go about writing new material?
I used to be a really good writer, like writing every day and all that stuff. And then, cause I really see myself as a joke teller, you know? And by the way, the answer to your question is, you'll see how I evolved. And the second time it's on Craig Ferguson, I'm trying to smile. I'm trying on purpose to smile. And then I still have to remind myself to smile on stage.
Right.
And I have to remind myself.
Why do you feel like you're not smiling?
By the way, Marty Ross is the guy in his 80s who's really special. Look up Marty, Marty Ross. He's an 80-year-old comedian. Anyways, but I think it's I was always just appalled by, I had such extreme judgment for comedians who walk on stage like, whoa, I'm a comedian, you know? Like, I love Robin Williams, I love the legendary guys like that, but like I would do open mics and I would watch a guy go on stage and just give it his all, and there's two people in the crowd, and like it just made me so uncomfortable. And it's just clearly my problem, not theirs, you know? But I think I have I don't know. One of my struggles as a performer is I don't know. I don't know how to articulate it. Like, I feed off the audience. Like, if the audience likes me, I work harder and I do better. But if they don't like me, I kind of have like a fuck you. I don't care, you know?
Right. Well, how do you go about writing your material then?
Yeah, I've gotten kind of lazy lately in the last 15 years. But like, I kind of work out on stage. I have ideas. I mean, it used to be, even the beginning of my lazy phase, remember Twitter used to be for jokes and stuff?
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, that tweet did good. I'm going to try to turn that into a bit. But the problem with tweets, from my experience, for me, it was more premises than punchlines. Like, I remember I had some joke, some tweet that got a lot of traction. I forgot what it was, but something about like, this cop keeps following me, he must really like me, or I don't know what the joke was, whatever. But I remember just saying it on stage and it bombed. But I realized, oh, it's a premise. It's not the funny part.
Right.
So that was confusing to me. But now I write ideas in my notepad just randomly. Then I go on stage and I fuck around, and I kind of sandwich new ideas between jokes that work already. So I have a good opener. I open strong, and then I might do two jokes I know work, and then I'll just ramble on something new. Because I'm also trying to become less jokey. I'm trying to become storyteller guy, which is very terrifying to me, and I still haven't figured it out.
That's interesting. So, because you don't want to just constantly be testing out material, because you also want to show people your best stuff. Because
like when people comes, and that's something it blows me away, that like there's comedians that don't do, like, I work at the Comedy Store in LA. And like, we still have to bring it. Like, you can't go. Right. It's not open mic night for me, but it is for I don't know, George Wallace if he comes in. You know what I mean? Like it can be, but
Right.
he's still gonna be funny because he's George Wallace, you know. But who I think I've seen there once in my life. I don't know why I'm using his name because I don't think he lives in LA. But like, but there's like in LA you work out, and then when I go on the road, it's 93% ready to go.
Right.
And if the crowd's with me, I'll do something else. But I think as you get better and do this long, you don't bomb anymore.
Right.
You kind of know how to, like, I know how to recover from a joke not working. Like I can have a joke bomb, and then I can say something, and then the crowd's with me, and then I can move on like it never happened, you know?
Right.
Like I don't let it destroy me or the performance.
Yeah, I remember we saw you. I don't remember what club we saw you at, but
Probably the Improv.
I always forget. No, that's on Melrose. I don't think it was that one. I thought it was like maybe the Comedy Store. Is that possible? Or
Maybe.
But you were so comfortable on stage. It really was like, wow, this guy's really, he knows what he's doing. You know?
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, you really knew what you're doing. You were very, yeah. I know Seaver and I felt the same way. I was like, wow, this guy's tight. You know?
Oh, hey, thanks. No, I was always so excited to work with you guys. Like, you guys are my kind of people, just like smart comedy writers. Like, it's still my favorite style of comedy, jokes. Just like.
Well, why do you want to get into storytelling? Because that's so interesting to me that you want to do that.
I wanted to figure it out for a while because one of my problems is, I'm jealous. Like, if Louis C.K. has a new joke, he's 7 minutes.
Yeah.
If I have a new joke, it's 12 seconds.
Yeah, right.
But my joke will hit hard. Like Dan Mintz is one of my favorites. You know Dan Mintz?
No.
He's a great brilliant stand-up, but he's teamed up on Bob's Burgers, but he's also like a brilliant TV writer and producer and stuff.
Right.
Best jokes you'll ever hear. Like, so good. But like, I heard Seinfeld and Tom Papa talking about this, but like people don't, in general, the masses don't want jokes and they don't want to watch Rodney Dangerfield. They don't want to watch someone go on stage and just talk about stupid things that aren't real. Like Dan Mintz goes on stage, so he'll talk about his girlfriend, then he'll say my wife just died, then he'll say like I'm single. But it's just sick. It's so funny. You'll just hear great jokes that make people
it's so interesting because I feel that. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, but people just want to hear you talk. You know what my cousin said to me, and he's really smart, funny guy. And like he's like goofing with me, but serious. He's like, Taylor, once you start being a real comedian, you're gonna become so famous. And what he meant by that is like, so my parents got divorced, and I have mental illness in my family, and there's people who just talk about their tragedies, their STDs, their fucking all this shit that you quote private stuff. You know what I'm trying to say? People want to hear that stuff. And the comedians who are blowing up and selling 15,000 seats, which never existed before podcasts and Netflix, with a few exceptions, they're all talking about vulnerable stuff that I truly don't even want to talk about. But it makes people happy and feel seen and they feel connected, and that's what people want. And so I don't have to do that, but it's interesting to me. And like, unfortunately, but fortunately for art, I have a lot of fucked up shit in my family and my life and stuff. So I feel like it is worth exploring, but it is like, I feel like I'm at open mic night one when I start talking about something real.
But you see, when I did stand up in college and I moved out here, I did it for 10 minutes and then I was like, I just want to be a comedy writer. But so I've always loved stand up, but to me, it always felt like it still feels like empty calories. And it's the meaty stuff, the emotional stuff, the personal stuff. I was like, that's what I feed on. Like, that's why it's so interesting to me, you know?
Yeah. Like, I mean,
that's the storytelling.
Right. And that's what you're up to now, right?
Yeah.
That's so cool, man. I got to come to your show. I really want to see. You have multiple shows, right?
We did, we did 8 shows in LA, then 2 in Boston, and then we'll start touring a little more soon when the book is out.
But I saw you post, you have different themes.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, it is. It's a little, I want to talk to you more about it off the air.
I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you off the air.
You're gonna have to. So, because I want more your opinion on stuff. But yeah, that's what I'm doing, and yeah, it's so interesting.
So for example, by the way, like someone like yourself, like you're so acclaimed as a TV writer and all this, but you're not known to the comedy clubs as a stand-up. But you're somebody, okay, that's fine. But you're somebody that you could hit up a comedy club and say, I could sell 200 tickets or 150 tickets in Baltimore. Give me 80% ticket sales.
I don't think I want to. The minute you go to a comedy club, people are, okay, we're going to heckle this guy. Whereas if you go to a theater, it's a totally different experience. You know,
comedians don't want to be in comedy clubs either. That's why the comedy clubs are turning into like some aren't even calling themselves comedy clubs anymore. They're trying to be like performance arts center kind of thing, trying to make it classier and bring people back to comedy clubs.
That's interesting, but they're still serving alcohol,
right? And
they're still and people are still heckling, right?
And the problem with social media that is driving me crazy, and I sound like an old bitter Scrooge again. People are blowing up by filming their heckler. Comedian destroys heckler.
Yeah.
I'm like, every time I see one of those, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Why?
You're encouraging hecklers. So comedians are going on stage and they're because you don't want to give away your material for reasons we talked about. Yes, it's good if your joke blows up, but you'd also prefer not to post your joke. So your people are posting the improv moments between their jokes, which isn't comedy. I mean, it's fun. It's fun. I get it. It's fun and it's spontaneous, whatever. But now people are heckling more, and people are getting attacked on stage. Yeah. Yes. And people are getting attacked on stage more because people are filming it and posting it. And like, God bless her. And I don't know her, and I'm not blaming her, and why not do so if this happens. So zero much respect to her, but like she got on Jimmy Kimmel because someone threw a beer at her, and then she chugged it,
and she handled it well.
I didn't see. I'm very happy. I'm being much respect, but it's like that's how you get on TV now.
Yeah.
So now you're hoping you get heckled or have a glass. I had someone throw a glass at me, but I didn't film it.
It was worthless.
Yeah. But like we've all had that kind of stuff, but like I think it's lowering the art form, and it's also making it more dangerous artistically and physically. So I do obviously like theaters are classy, and the better thing about a theater crowd, 100% of people came to see you. There's not going to be a bachelorette party or a birthday party or people like, wait, why aren't you funnier? Why are you being emotional?
Right,
you know?
Right. Because people have asked me, we perform my club? No, I'm not going to perform in your comedy club. It's the wrong crowd. No.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Although, can I tell you, I just did a private party the other night.
Yeah.
The best gig of my entire life.
Why?
Financially, and I opened for this famous. I don't know if I should say. I don't know. I'm trying to be respectful. Sure. But I opened for like a really famous SNL guy in San Diego at someone's Christmas party. And like they're all dressed in. I thought it was a business because I do private events at businesses. But I showed up and it was like someone's house, and I was like, what is? And they're all wearing onesies and stuff. But there's a bunch of rich people.
Yeah.
And like they paid the best paid gig of my entire life to open for somebody. I can't imagine how much he got. I'm just like, this is what it's all about. Fuck trying to sell out big theaters and all this stuff. Just rich people who own McDonald's. If you guys want to have me come perform for your Christmas parties, I'm available. That's my new.
Yeah, me too. If you want to book both of us. Any rich people listening to my podcast? No,
dude, it was why I even when I was like I'm proud of what I'm doing and stuff, but like my status after America's Got Talent was way bigger than it is now, just how it goes, you know. And like I got twice as much as I ever got for events back then.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So your rate has actually gone down since then because
my rate. I'm saying my rate doubled.
Your rate. No, after American Got Talent, it doubled, and it's still where it is.
No, I'm saying my rate. I got this venue. These people paid me twice as much as I've ever been paid when I was blowing up.
Okay. No. Okay. You're referring to today. I see. You're the show you just did.
The point is that I have a good agent.
That was never the point.
The point is I'm rich until I have to pay off my broken air conditioning unit. Being an adult is crazy. Like I literally just made a bunch of money and my air conditioner broke, and that's $10,000. It's probably $9,000. I live in a townhouse.
Oh, you own your tent house. Oh,
and I own my a townhouse, and they have to get a crane and put it on the roof and all this stuff. And
that
anyways,
sucks. That
but
sucks.
being an adult's terrible. I don't kids. I got a dog, but like,
That's a dog?
sir, this is what is wrong? Do you not have love in your heart?
No. I had a dog. She was a golden retriever, so I know what a dog looks like. That's all I'm saying.
This is a hate crime. Because my dog's Jewish, and this is offensive.
Well, I'm just saying it's let me see the purse that you carry her in.
I carry her in a backpack. I've been encouraged.
Okay.
I've been encouraged to get one of those doggy Bjorns. I did it for like a day, and I was like, I can't.
Isn't the dog supposed to walk? It's like exercise for them.
The problem with my dog is she's 4.9 pounds Chihuahua, and it's like walking a feather.
Yeah, right.
It's a little bit. It's not as if you're trying to get business done.
Yeah.
Backpack's efficient. I take her to the park and she runs around.
That's nice of you.
How dare you shame me and judge my parenthood?
No. This is Taylor. This has been a very interesting talk.
Did I do a good job? I feel like I came off cynical.
No, I don't. This is going to be gold. I think everyone's going to love this. This is going to blow up. This is going to put you back on the map.
Really?
This is going to get you a lot of rich people gigs.
Hey, rich people, please hire me to perform at your events.
Well, let's tell people how to find you on social media and stuff.
I am on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok. You're people are like, I gotta talk to my little sister to figure out how TikTok works. And I'm like, no, call Michael Jammin. That's the TikTok star I know. But I'm at Taylor Comedy and Facebook Taylor Williamson and TaylorWilliamson.com. I was runner up on America's Got Talent, and I was on Last Comic Standing and some other things. But if you go to my website, I have clips of all the things, and I'm on tour. When is this gonna air?
Probably in about a month or so. We'll drop it.
We'll have shows coming up in Atlanta and Boca. Shalom Boca.
Yep.
And then what's the other one? Greensville, one of the Carolinas.
But we can sign up on your website for all your touring dates and stuff. And
Calgary, Alberta, Canada, somewhere in Michigan.
Look at this guy.
Listen,
you get a lot of mileage on your frequent flyers.
I gotta pay a mortgage. I gotta feed a dog.
That dog doesn't eat much.
She gets the fancy, expensive food, but she's so small. She's so small that it works, you know. Anyways, but can I tell people though that we came up with a show together, and it was such a wonderful experience. It meant so much to me that that you and your partner believed in me and my idea. Like truly, like it meant the world to me. Huh?
We were off the mark that day.
Well, like I said, there weren't many other people interested. And then, but it meant so much, and it was so fun pitching, and I felt like I was doing something right with my life, and it turned out to be a big waste of time. And no, but it just some things are just right place, right time, and some things are not. And then, but I'm so grateful I got to work with you, be friends with you, and stuff. And it's been really such a pleasure watching you to go on your new journey. And I take full credit for it, by the way, because we had that talk like 2 years ago, and I told you not to do what you're doing, but I told you something else, and then you're doing this instead. And so I feel like
I don't remember what you told me. That we have to review on that. We'll review on when we get off the air. We'll review because I have a lot of questions for you that are more not.
My point is, I'm taking credit because you didn't do what I said, but then you did something else. Because you're like, I'm not gonna do that. I pushed you in a different direction.
Yeah, which is just as important. Bad advice is just as good as important as good advice.
Yeah.
Taylor, I thank you so much for being on the podcast. Everyone, just go follow this guy. He's a sweet, very funny guy. And I just think the world of you. You're a good dude, man. You're a good dude.
Thanks, man. Likewise. And let's hang out with the Just Shoot Me lady sometime.
Which one is that? Who? Laura?
The star? What's her name?
Laura San Giacomo? Wendy Malick?
Can we hang out? Both of them?
They're both lovely. They're both amazing people. So
all right, we'll get dinner soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Taylor, thank you so much, everyone. And
thanks, everyone.
And for everyone, what else do I have to tell before I sign off? Yeah, go get on my watch list, michaeljammin.com/watch list is my free weekly newsletter. I send out tips for the industry, and I got a free lesson for screenwriting at michaeljammin.com/free. And if you want to see where my show is coming, we'll be touring. Go to michaeljammin.com/upcoming. to find out where I'll be when I'll be in your city. All right, everyone. Thanks so much. Until next time, keep writing. Okay.
This has been an episode of Screenwriters Need to Hear This with Michael Jamin. If you'd like to support this podcast, please consider subscribing, leaving a review, and sharing this podcast with someone who needs to hear today's subject. For free daily screenwriting tips, follow Michael on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Michael Jamin Writer. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Phil A. Hudson. This episode was produced by Phil Hudson and edited by Dallas Crane. Until next time, keep writing.